Hi, this is Rick for EDU Mobile. Today we're going to talk about responding to row selection. When a user taps a row in a table view, what happens? So here we go. When a user taps a row in a table view, there's some interaction there. They expect something to happen, so we shouldn't disappoint them. Usually the something they expect to happen involves showing some detail or more information about the row they've selected. Most often, this is done by pushing another view controller that presents some detail about the row that they've selected. In storyboards, the new view controller is going to be pushed using a push segue. So a table view is inside a navigation controller, or is the root view controller of a navigation controller, I should say. And then from that table view, we can push more view controllers onto that navigation controller stack. And that's how we're handling this. So push segues can only be used in the context of a navigation controller. So again, the table view is inside a navigation controller. We can use push segues from the table view to push more view controllers onto that nav controller. So when the user activates a push segue, some mechanics happen. The void prepare for segue sender method is called. I apologize, that hyphen should be on the next line with the void. This is a instance method, not a class method. That's why the hyphen is there. It returns void, it returns nothing, and it's called prepare for segue and sender. The first parameter of this is a UI storyboard segue, and it has two very important properties that we're interested in. The first is the view controller that we're going to, and it is called destination view controller. It is typed as a vanilla UI view controller. The second is a string property, and it is called identifier. And this corresponds with the identifier we set for the push segue in Interface Builder. So we need both of these. We need the view controller we're going to, and also the identifier of the segue. Because very often, when we're in a table view context, we will have multiple segues for different activities that may be triggered by buttons up in the button bar, or tapping a row, and so forth. So the second parameter in prepare for segue sender is the control that caused the segue to be fired. Now this comes across in the parameter as an ID type, in other words, of any object type. So we need to do some casting here to get the actual types of these two parameters. The property destination view controller of the segue, the UI storyboard segue, needs to be cast to the actual type of the view controller that we're pushing. And this is usually a custom type. This is usually a type, if we're displaying detail, we need to subclass UI view controller, create our own view controller, and then have some controls that actually present that detail. Make sense? Good. So that destination view controller property of the UI storyboard segue that we get back in the first parameter is going to need to be cast to the actual type of that view controller that we're pushing out. And then secondly, sender nearly always needs to be cast if we're needing to send some information from the sender to the new view controller. So let's say we have the user tapping on a table view cell. Maybe we want to send the title or the detail text label title text to the new view controller to identify what it is we're looking for. Well, we need to cast sender from the ID type that we're getting to the actual type of the sender. If it's a button, we'll need to cast it to a UI button type. If it's a UI storyboard cell, which it is in the context of what we're talking about right now, then we need to cast it to a UI storyboard cell type in order to get to the title label and the detail title label of that storyboard cell. We'll see this as we look at the first demo here. Thank you very much.